Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of NASCAR's Biggest What Ifs, Adam Petty. Born July 10th, 1980, into NASCAR racing royalty, Adam Petty, the great-grandson of three-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Lee Petty, grandson of seven-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, the King, Richard Petty, son of eight-time NASCAR Cup Series winner, Kyle Petty. Adam was born to race almost literally. Now, by the time that Adam was old enough to actually run in sanctioned NASCAR races, he was only able to race with one family member at Petty Enterprises. His great-grandfather, Lee Petty, had long since retired, and his grandfather, Richard Petty, had even ran his final race of his decades-long record-setting career in 1992. Adam was the first ever fourth-generation athlete believed to play in modern American professional sports. In 1997, he ran about 25 late-model stock car races, getting his feet wet for his first shot at NASCAR in 1998, when Adam made 19 ASA, American Speed Association races, behind the wheel of a number 45 Spree prepaid phone cards Pontiac. His best start was first, twice, at Rougemont in the spring and St. Paul in the fall. His best finish was first, at I-70 Speedway in the summer. Overall, he scored 2 poles, 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 7 top 10s, finishing 14th in final ASA point standings, due to not running one race, or he would have finished just a little bit higher in point standings. Adam, the exact way his father Kyle did in 1979, won his first Arca Series start in the fall at Charlotte, in a number 45 Spree prepaid phone cards Pontiac also. He made another Arca start a couple weeks later at Talladega Superspeedway, and was running reasonable, qualifying 11th, before crashing out on lap 74 with Bobby Gearhart and Harris Devane, finishing a disappointing 29th. The final few races that Petty ran in 1998 were his first few career Xfinity Series starts, behind the wheel of a number 22 Spree prepaid phone cards Chevrolet for Todd Geschechter. His best start was 11th at Gateway in the fall, and his best finish was 27th twice at Gateway and Homestead in the fall. That following season, in 1999, Adam Petty made the jump up to the Xfinity Series, full-time, behind the wheel of the number 45 Spree Chevrolet for Petty Enterprises. Lance Dieters served as his crew chief for the 1999 Xfinity Series season. Adam made 29 starts throughout the 32-race season, DNQing 3 times. His best start was second at Memphis in the fall, and his best finish was 4th at California in the spring. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, and 4 top 10s, finishing a pretty solid 20th in final Xfinity Series point standings. Also in the Craftsman Truck Series, Petty made his first and only 2 career starts in a number 34 Spree prepaid phone cards Dodge, also for Petty Enterprises. His best start was 23rd at Texas in the fall, and his best finish was 10th at Richmond in the fall, his only career top 10 Craftsman Truck Series finish. The turn of the century, the year 2000, and in the year 2000, Petty Enterprises had Adam Petty return to the Xfinity Series for one more season full-time to gain more experience before moving up to the NASCAR Cup Series full-time in 2001. Adam was behind the wheel of the number 45 Sprint Chevrolet for Petty Enterprises once again, for what was intended to be a full-time season. Chris Hussey became Petty's crew chief for the 2000 season. The first 2 races of the Xfinity Series season were not the runs that the team was looking for, starting 17th at Daytona before crashing out of the event at about the halfway mark of the race, finishing 37th. Rockingham the next week wasn't much better, starting 42nd and finishing 27th, 3 laps behind the race winner, though he at least finished the race. Petty was able to finally score his first top 20 finish of the young season at Las Vegas, starting 31st and finishing 17th, 2 laps off the pace. In Atlanta, Petty had a solid qualifying effort, 15th, finishing the event running once again 4 laps behind the leader, finishing 25th. His second top 20 finish of the Xfinity Series season came at Darlington in the spring, when he qualified 32nd and finished 16th, the first lead lap finish of the season for Adam Petty. Though the next 2 Xfinity Series starts were neither the runs Petty nor the number 45 team were looking for at Bristol in Texas. At the world's fastest half-mile, Bristol Motor Speedway, Petty started 38th and blew his engine at lap 96, leaving him with a disappointing 40th place finish. The next week at Texas, he had a solid qualifying effort, 13th, but a wreck ended his day early at lap 122, leaving him to finish 39th. Petty did attempt the NASCAR Cup Series event at Texas that spring, and in fact qualified 33rd in his Cup Series debut. Again, Adam was behind the wheel of a number 45 Sprint Chevrolet for Petty Enterprises. He did reasonable in his Cup Series debut, running mid-pack until he blew his engine on lap 215 of the 334-lap, 500-mile event, finishing 40th. His great-grandfather, three-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Lee Petty, lived to see Adam make his Cup Series debut, though sadly he would pass away just 3 days later, following being hospitalized after surgery on a stomach aneurysm. After making his NASCAR Cup Series debut, Adam returned to the Xfinity Series to continue his full schedule that he had planned for the 2000 season. The next event brought the series to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, where Adam would put down a quick enough lap in qualifying to earn him his best start of the season thus far, a 9th. Unfortunately, a huge accident in Turn 4 on lap 243 would take him out of the running for a solid finish due to damage. Petty would finish 34th, 31 laps off the pace. Next up was the longest, fastest oval in all of NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. Petty started the race 31st, though he ran decent throughout the race, scoring what would end up being his best finish of the abbreviated season he would run, finishing 12th. Coming off his season-best finish, Adam went to California Speedway and scored his best qualifying run of the season for himself, 7th, even leading a lap. The only lap he led in the starts that he would make in the year 2000, though finishing 27th, one lap down. In what turned out to be his final Xfinity Series start, Petty qualified 36th at Richmond in the spring, though he did have a pretty strong run, staying on the lead lap, finishing a decent 16th. On May 12th, while practicing for the Xfinity Series' next event, the Busch 200, held at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Adam Petty's throttle had stuck wide open going into Turn 3, leaving the race car to hit the wall pretty much head-on. To the horror and dismay of the Pettys, the fans that were there in attendance, and pretty much all of NASCAR, Adam Petty was killed instantly due to a basilar skull fracture. Petty was only 19 years old. Petty Enterprises and Adam's father, Kyle Petty, decided to keep the team going the rest of the season, with Kyle Petty deciding to take over the driving duties for the remainder of the 2000 Xfinity Series season in the number 45. Then, he would use the number 45 for the remainder of his own NASCAR Cup Series career throughout most of the rest of the 2000s, paying tribute to Adam. In October 2000, 5 months after Adam's passing, Kyle Petty and his family partnered with Paul Newman and the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp to form the Victory Junction Gang Camp, beginning construction shortly thereafter and opening in 2004. The Victory Junction Gang Camp is an awesome camp for children with serious medical conditions that's both medically safe and gives them a chance to have fun experiences that they otherwise probably wouldn't. So, in 43 Xfinity Series starts, Adam Petty scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, and 4 top 10s, with the best points finish of 20th in 1999. In 2 Craftsman Truck Series starts, he scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 1 top 10. In 2 Arca Series starts, he scored 0 poles, 0... In 2 Arca Series starts, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 1 top 5, and 1 top 10. In 19 ASA starts, he scored 2 poles, 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 7 top 10s, with the best points finish of 14th in 1998. How do you think Adam Petty would have fared in NASCAR had he not had that horrible accident? Let me know down in the comments section. Thanks for watching, everyone, and take care.